All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Is it? I think it's September 1st. Jesus Christ, it's Thursday, September 1st. Holy shit. Man, time flies. I will say, it's starting to get to that time of year where I slowly but surely am dreading the winter. Because you guys know me, I've talked about it a million times. I have a little dash of that, what they call now seasonal affective disorder. I think it was better when they just called it seasonal depression. But I got a little dash, just a little sprinkle of that shit. And as soon as September hits, it's like slowly but you see the sun setting earlier and earlier. And by the time like November hits, it's just like, when's it going to be spring again? So yeah, I don't like it, dog. I don't like it. I'm a spring guy, I'm a summer guy, and that's it. I don't like the fall. I don't like the winter. I'm not digging it. I'm curious how many of you guys out there agree with me. I think I polled this one time on Twitter, but I don't remember the results of it. But anyway, fuck September, but here we are, September 1st. But I do have a glorious and wonderful and lovely show for all of you, so we're going to go ahead and dive into that shortly. I got Dave Rubin, who is further embarrassing himself on a daily basis, trying to play patty cakes with conservatives who quite literally despise him and don't want him to be able to be himself and have equal rights. Ann Coulter drops the hammer on Donald Trump and is like, look, he's done, he's toast, he's useless. Look, she goes so far, I don't even know if I agree with her. But it is kind of a funny dynamic, right? Because I remember from when I was younger, Ann Coulter defended George W. Bush and Dick Cheney in the most extreme fashion you could ever imagine. I mean, she was like the biggest war criminal apologist and torture apologist on the planet. She was hardcore team Republican, and she was with Trump for a hot minute. She wrote a book called In Trump We Trust, and then out of nowhere, it was just, she flipped on him. And so now she's officially declaring that he's done. I also have a really big story about how the Secret Service is now officially caught protecting Trump. They were lying on behalf of Trump as it pertains to January 6th and the January 6th committee. So we'll dive into that. Ron DeSantis caught lying in an amazing way. And then later on in the show, Biden may be impeached. The man himself may be impeached. And also, an angry Texas mom goes to a school board meeting and she rants against critical race theory. And in the process of doing that, she accidentally admits one of the lessons that she would like to see out of the curriculum. And you're going to be astonished at what she says. So I'm not going to spoil that for you now, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Dave Rubin has been, I guess you could say, on the warpath now for at least a year, where the main thrust of every argument he makes is like, liberals are really bad, bro. Or, sometimes leftists are really bad. I don't think he makes a distinction between liberals and leftists, but, he just thinks the whole left side of the political spectrum, from center left all the way to far left, they're all terrible, bad, useless, liars, dishonest. And I always find it funny that the people who stress the most, like, let's have honest discourse with people who disagree with us, because that's the only way you see what wins in the marketplace of ideas. They talk this big game about, like, hear everybody out, bro. And then when it comes down to it, all they do is shit on the left relentlessly, endlessly, and, castigate them all as evil and with bad intentions and they're dishonest, etc. Anyway, I digress from that point. So he goes to talk to the noted intellectual and philosopher and deep thinker Candace Owens. And look at what he says here, talking about his experience with conservatives, and then we'll break it down as we go.
I would say this. I like conservatives. I like hanging out with conservatives. I like debating conservatives.
Debating them? When was the last time you debated a conservative?
I never find a rude conservative. It's almost impossible to find.
It's almost like you agree with them on 99% of things, so they don't feel any reason to be rude to you at all. Weird.
I get nothing but love from conservatives. I spoke at Liberty University, the largest evangelical conservative Christian college in America. I spoke in front of 14,000 people. You've done the exact same gig. These people know my views. They know I'm married to a man. I got a standing ovation. They couldn't have been nicer. I wandered around campus for a couple hours, people coming up to me saying all sorts of nice things. By the way, some people did come up to me and say, I'm...
Okay, the reason why the people at Liberty University love you and the reason why they invited you is because it's a very unique thing that politically helps them when you have a gay guy who says, by the way, you're right about everything, including your views on gay people. That's why you're invited. It is this tokenization idea. Now, I'm not saying that casting a moral judgment on Dave here. I'm saying that as an objective fact, that if you were a gay person and you were arguing for very pro-gay positions and you were arguing for left-of-center ideas, well, then they wouldn't invite you. They invited you because of you being a token gay person who agrees all the time with conservatives. They like that. They like it when they could say, look, even this gay guy is with us. Hello, obviously we're right. Even he's with us. Let's be serious.
By the way, some people did come up to me and say, you know, I'm praying for you. And I don't know if they meant that I'm praying for you, meaning I'm trying to pray the gay away, or I'm just praying like your continued success or whatever.
Yeah, what do you think it was, Dave? What do you think the I'm praying for you thing meant? What do you think? Out of curiosity. You're at Liberty University. What do you think? Take a shot. There is no doubt that it meant I'm praying for you because I think you're a sinner and I think homosexuality is wrong, and so I'm praying for you to see the light and get out of that. And I think that they think it's possible with Dave because he's such a staunch right-winger in every other respect. So they think, like, maybe he will have an enlightenment moment and get out of this sinful lifestyle. That's definitely what it is. So it's condescending. It's pedantic. It's, look, we know the truth. We see the light. We know the way. You don't. I'm going to try to get you to where I'm at. Jesus, he's so sad.
But it would almost be irrelevant to me. Even if someone...
I'm praying the gay away. Well, that's not offensive. If they're not saying...
That's not offensive. Okay, put aside the word offensive. What is the argument that they're making? What are they really saying to you? They're saying if you're gay, you are less than. You are not equal to. This is not okay. This is not just. This is not moral. This is not ethical. You are inferior in a sense. And so I'm trying to get you to become normal or become superior to all these people who are sinful and who are going to hell. To say that that's not offensive, to say that that's not condescending, it's astonishing. It's the height of arrogance for them to say something like that. And it is, look, it's deeply homophobic for them to say something like that. But he doesn't care. He doesn't see it that way. Oh, it's just so nice that they said, I'm praying for you. That's so much nicer than a left-winger who says, Dave, you're factually wrong about this policy and that policy and that policy. Yeah, because the left-winger is actually standing up for values and principles and beliefs, and the right-winger is condescending and arrogantly looking down on you and trying to change the essence of who you are, which, by the way, isn't even fucking possible.
I'm gonna,
club me over the head.
Yeah. We're gonna put you somewhere you shouldn't be. I'm praying for you.
And
bro, they're not killing me. They're not even stoning me to death, bro. What's the problem here? They're being so nice about it. They're being so nice about how I'm inferior. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Someone that comes up to you with a smile on their face and says a bunch of nice things and then says, and I'm praying for you.
Right.
That's actually a lot nicer than a progressive who will scream all day how much they love gay people and then will unleash endless hate on me because...
It's not hate. It's telling you you're wrong about stuff. It is an argument. It is a disagreement. It is a debate. Now, what happened to, bro, I'm all about ideas. I'm all about debating in the marketplace of ideas. No, Dave. You like to sit around with a whole bunch of other conservatives and everybody jerks each other off about how right they are about everything. That's what you like to do. So you like the silo. That's what you like.
I don't bow to them. So, this is where...
It's not about bowing. It's about you being wrong about shit. That's what it's about. It's about the debate. It's about the disagreement. It's about the policy issues.
This idea of tolerance and all of these things, I think broadly...
He's going to talk about tolerance when he's bringing up the issue of a Liberty University student who's super religious saying, I'm praying for you and looking down on you. That is not tolerant. That is not tolerant. That's saying you're less than and I hope you get out of this thing you do, which is inferior, which is bad, which is immoral, and which is unethical. Dave, being gay is not bad, inferior, immoral, unethical. They think it is. I do not. Generally speaking, the left does not. The left is correct. The left is correct. Jesus Christ, Dave.
Speaking, conservatives have done a really nice job in the last couple of years of cleaning up whatever those bad parts are.
This is bullshit, and he knows it's bullshit. When Dave announced, I'm having kids with my husband, there was a tsunami of right-wing hate and right-wing disagreement with him. where you had prominent conservatives, people like Mark Dice saying this is sinful and this is wrong, and Mark Dice was going after Dave, and even other conservatives who were mildly okay with what Dave was doing, and I mean mildly. People like Glenn Beck who were like, yeah, what you're doing is wrong, but I'll allow you to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The point is that conservatives still often, I think, should take the libertarian approach on it, be okay with a state-by-state situation, but there's still...
So in other words, Dave Rubin is not for the right to gay marry being viewed as a constitutional right under equal protection under the law. So he's not for gay marriage being allowed in all the states. He's for it being allowed in only the states that want to allow it, which means about half the states would not allow it, which means gay couples who live in Mississippi, well, fuck off, that's your own problem. So Dave Rubin is against a right to gay marriage. Now, after, if he were to see this segment, he would disagree with my assertion there and say, no, I'm for gay marriage, but you just said you wanted the states to decide. If you want the states to decide, it 100% logically follows that not every state is going to have it. It's the exact same thing with the right to choose. If you say, hey, let the states decide, well, what happened? Like 25 states were like, we're not going to allow it at all. So you're okay with it not being allowed in like half the country, which affects millions of people in the same way this gay marriage proposal would affect millions of people. So Dave Rubin is not for the right to gay marry, and he's gay married. And you wonder why. Why did Liberty University invite you to talk? Gee, I wonder why. Could it be because you want to take away the right to gay marry from like half the fucking country? Could that be it?
A certain layer of conservatives that take a sort of more moral position on it, and that it's going to infect society. And by the way, I'm not trying to change those people's opinions. That's the part that I really want.
Another reason why they invited you, because you're not trying to change their opinions. You're trying to tell them they're right about everything. What a surprise.
I want to tell you. I'm not here to do that.
Change that, yeah. It's funny.
I just want to carve out room on the same side.
It's so sad, man. And he's even now at the point where when he was talking to Jordan Peterson, he was saying, look, the ideal is heterosexual marriage. That's the ideal, and that's what we're aspiring to. And us gay couples will never get there, but that's the guiding star. This is an argument he made. So Dave talked to somebody else who brought that same point up to him and said, right, so you admit if you have kids, you want them to be, married in straight relationships. And Dave was like, I didn't say that. And he's like, no, you said if it's the ideal, that means it's better than. If it's better than, that means the other thing is inferior. It's not as good. So you're in favor of them being straight, right? And he twisted himself into an intellectual pretzel and said, no, that's not exactly what I said. It depends on what the definition of the word ideal really means. Sad, Dave, sad. And I honestly, I don't know if he's smart enough to understand what he's doing, even though it's super obvious to 90% of people watching his little tap dance. And that is astonishing. So Dave, be proud of yourself, man. I hope the money's worth it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.